Welcome back to the IE427 Garage, everybody. Today we're going to go over some of the new products that we have for the Mk5 Roadster, and then we're going to do a quick synopsis of all the other parts that we sell, just as a reminder to all of you that we do sell quite a few parts for your Factory 5 project. The first thing I want to let you all know is that we have had quite a few inquiries about our turn signal switch and whether it is compatible with the Mk5. The answer to that is yes. We've actually sold probably a couple of dozen of our turn signal switches to Factory 5 owners that have purchased a Mk5. And there's no difference in installation. The only difference is that you don't install the Factory 5 turn signal switch behind the dash. So yes, it does work. If you want to use one of ours, just go ahead and send us an email. I'll put that email right here at the bottom of the screen, and then we can get one of those assembled for you and shipped out. But what I want to do is I want to tell you, those of you that are using the Factory 5 provided turn signal switch, that we have a couple of options for you as well. If you're using the Factory 5 included turn signal switch with your Mk5 project, we do have a solution for a quick release, and there are two. So if you want to use the popular NRG SRK 400, which is the slim quick release, we have an option for that. And we also have an option to use the Motion Raceworks quick release as well. So here are those two products right here, and you can see the hub right here for the NRG is a 6-bolt pattern. It is a flat, kind of like hockey puck, and that will allow you to use a NRG SRK 400 quick release in your car. The difference between this hub and the one we use for our turn signal is simply that this one does not have the two pins on the back of the hub to self-cancel the turn signal switch. That's it. They're exactly the same in every other respect. So it has the double D portion in the center that will attach to your steering shaft, and it will work just like any other hub that you would install in the car. The difference is you can use that SRK 400 quick release. The other is the one that we make for the Motion Raceworks quick release, and you can see that this one is a smaller footprint. So they're the same thickness, they're the same pretty much in every respect, other than the fact that this one is a smaller diameter and has a different bolt pattern. So if you want a nice, clean, small footprint quick release, this Motion Raceworks one is awesome. Now I'll put it together and I'll show you what it looks like. And I really like it. I'll also put together the 6-hole NRG SRK 400 for you so you can see what that one looks like as well. Those are going to be sold through email just like every other product that we sell. So if you want one of those, go ahead and send us an email and we can get you hooked up with either of these two quick releases. And the nice thing about these is that if you're really worried about how far that steering wheel projects towards the driver, you can push these right in against the dash if you like and gain as much space as you can for that distance between the steering wheel and the driver. So here are those two options. Obviously this is the NRG quick release. You can see our 2 canceling pins on the back, and then the quick release mounted to the hub. Every one of our hubs is going to come with a T at the top, and that's to represent the top of the hub, and that's so that you get the double D portion of your steering shaft lined up in the right spot. Same thing with this one. You can see that this is a nice clean installation. Again, the double D portion is cut into the hub, and 3 screws, and this one mounts. We always recommend that you use some type of thread locker or anti-seize on the bolts, because you've got an aluminum piece with usually stainless steel hardware, and so you don't want that to gall and not be able to get it off in the future. So those are the 2 options. I will put the steering wheels and mount those to each of those so you guys can get an idea of what those look like. All right, we'll start over here with the NRG quick release hub. You can see I've got it all mounted up to the hub, and the steering wheel are together now. This one right here, once you get used to it, you'll understand, but you always want to make sure that you put it back in the proper orientation so the top is the top. And that's the only real downside to the NRG quick release, is that it can go in 3 positions. It is a little bit clunky until you get used to it, to engage and disengage it. You'll really want to make sure that when you engage it, that it locks in place. So there's the NRG right there. And here again is the quick release that we have for our turn signal switch and the Motion Raceworks quick release. So you can see that is a really nice piece. It's got a chamfer on the front of it. It's just a beautifully machined piece, and it just goes on so nice. I love this Motion Raceworks quick release. If I had one of these on my own car, I'm sure I would choose the Motion Raceworks quick release just because of the ease at which you can use it. Let's move on to some of the products that are universal across the Roadster line. So anything from a Mark 1 through a Mark 5. So first is going to be our shifter handle. We've had this on the channel before. This is all one piece. It's stainless steel. It comes with all the mounting hardware you're going to need. It does utilize the factory 5 supplied shift knob. You can get an aftermarket knob to fit it. The machine screw size on the end is a 3/8 by 24, I believe. But we made it work with the factory 5 shift knob, because honestly, the shift knob that they supply now is a nice kind of engraved 5-speed pattern with the reverse, and it looks like period correct. So we like to use that with this shifter. It really sets it off. The advantage of this shifter handle versus the one that comes supplied with your kit is it comes up first. So it comes up and then forward. And what that does, it allows the shift boot, if you're using the factory supplied rubber boot, to go on this straight section here rather than up on the curve. That shifter that they supply tends to want to pull the transmission out of 3rd and 5th gear. First gear, honestly, you're not in first gear that long that it's an issue, because you normally have your hand on the shifter. But if you're doing 3rd gear digs and you're on and off the accelerator, it will want to pop it out if you're using the factory 5 supplied shifter handle and boot. It kind of binds in 3rd and 5th gear. So ours kind of solves that problem, and it looks cool. So that's the shifter. Like I said, it comes with the mounting hardware, and then you use all the rest of the parts that are supplied with your kit to install it. Next up are our domino pedal spacers. So if you're using the Willwood pedal box and you find that the spacing of the pedals doesn't fit your liking, what these pedal spacers will do, and they come in a kit of 2 and all the hardware in order to use them, they will move your pedal pads. If you're using the Forte's Parts Connection aluminum pedal pads, it'll move the Willwood ones over as well. What they do is they take the pedal pad, and you can see the pedal pad here, and they essentially move it over one full hole on the pedal arm. So you can see the pedal spacer in there, and it just bolts onto the pedal arm itself, and then they space the pedal over to the right or over to the left, one full hole space. It still leaves you access to the hole in the back of the pedal pad, so you can get the trim ring that goes in the front out, If you have to pull something off in order to service it, it allows you to get those trim rings out from the front. So that's what they look like installed. You can move them to the left or to the right, one hole spacing. So that will give you about 3/4 of an inch. Now, with the Generation 5 or the Mark 5 car, the foot box is larger. So there's more room to the right of the pedals and there's more room to the left of the pedals. The problem lies in that the pedals are a set dimension in between. So the two pedal arms are non-adjustable for spacing left to right. So the only spacing or adjustment you have on those is with the stock Willwood pedal pads. It allows you to shove one all the way to the left or one all the way to the right, or both to the left and both to the right. But the pedal arms themselves don't move. And the pedal pads that they supply are quite wide. And so even if you put both of them to the left, in order to gain more access on the right side of the car for the accelerator, the pedal pads themselves are still kind of like the same distance apart. You've just moved both of them to the left. What this does is it allows you to move one to the right, one to the left if you've got a bunch of room to the right, or both of them to the left using those thinner pedal pads that you can get from Forte's Parts Connection. And honestly, the parts that Mike supplies those pedal pads are just beautiful pieces too. So those are the pedal spacers. If you want a set of those, just go ahead and email us and we'll get you hooked up with a set of those. That's about it for the new parts, the ones that are gonna fit on the Mark 5. The other parts that we sell are basically all model specific. So we have a drop trunk box for the Mark 1 and Mark 2. We have a drop trunk box for the Mark 3, and we have a drop trunk box for the Mark 4. I haven't got into any of the fabrication for any of the stuff as far as sheet metal parts on the Mark 5. I'd really like to get one here in order to do that. I don't want to rely on just measurements from a customer. But if you have a Mark 5 and you're interested in having us fabricate something for you, by all means, drop us an email and I'll see what I can do. If you're local and you're building a Mark 5 and it's something that I can quickly go back and forth between the shop and your place to do some measurements and fabricate something up, then by all means, I'm open to that. But until we get a Mark 5 in here to actually build, I don't want to overcommit and then find out we have discrepancies in the jigs at Factory 5 and we're continually trying to adjust things to make them fit. If I have one here, I can kind of build in margins so that I know products are gonna fit every time. So I think, other than a couple of other sheet metal parts that we make, like we make a dash support, we have a template for the front nose aluminum on the Mark 4 and before. We also have a carpeted liner that we sell for the back of the glove box, so the glove box door on the Mark 3, Mark 4, and Mark 5, as long as you're using the Factory 5 supplied either carbon fiber or their pre-molded dash. We have a carpet insert that goes on the door of that. And that's about it for now. I'm really looking forward to getting a Mark 5 here in the shop. We've got the Coupe here. And remember, our turn signal switches work with anything. They'll work with a Mark 1 through a Mark 5. They will work with a Generation 1 and 2 Coupe, as well as the Generation 3 Coupe. So we've got you covered on turn signals. And I think that's gonna do it for now. I've been getting messages from customers that I need to advertise more, and that's on me. I don't want to be that guy that's on the forum or that's on all of the Facebook pages that are related to these cars every day trying to push parts on you guys. It's just, that's not in my nature. So I know I don't do a whole lot to advertise for the parts that we sell. You know, when we started making the turn signal switch, we started making the turn signal switch because honestly, there just wasn't anybody else out there doing it after Russ passed away. And so trying to get caught up on all that, I really didn't have time to be pushing the product all the time. And you know, the great thing about this community is the word of mouth for parts like these is probably the greatest advertisement, because it seems like once someone asks a question, hey, does anybody make a turn signal for this? you know, our company name continually comes up, and I appreciate all the customers out here that continue to let the word be spread about the products that we sell. But I'm just terrible at advertising stuff. I'd much rather be here in the shop building cars and building parts. So this was kind of my catch up for everybody. I can repost this video from time to time, and hopefully that will get the word out that, you know, we make all these parts. But like I said, I just don't want to be that guy that is continually blasting all the Facebook pages about the stuff we sell. I just don't like doing that. So if you guys are enjoying the content here, as always, please do the like, the share, the subscribe, all that kind of stuff. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.